JM, well, I think I've just diverted a major disaster, and that is what could have been a bonfire on my 89 XJS. Well, coming into my garage on numerous times today, I kept smelling fuel. And I thought there's only one car in the garage, and that is Ruby, my 3.6 XJS. So I thought I had a look underneath there, and you can't see because there's no light. But there's a fuel puddle. So she's been leaking at the back here somewhere. So I've gone down, I've had to remove everything out of the boot. I had my carpet stored in there because we haven't installed them yet. And you can see fuel in the back of the boot pan here, and it's coming out of the fuel pump, but look at that, the positive wire there is just full of fuel. How dangerous is that? And it's a bodgy job. This is not the right fuel for this application car. It's stuck in there with bloody cable ties, you can't see them so much. So it's 99.9% coming out of that fuel pump. So I'm going to rip that off, have a look at. I don't know what this pump's off, but it's certainly not off a 3.6 litre Jaguar. What's it say there? It's obviously a high pressure pump, but not the right one for this application, and it's leaking at bad time. So we're just going to leave it there for a little while until we get a new pump. I'll pick one up the coast. I'm sure I've got one. So I've just clamped it off for the time being, and then I'll get another fuel pump and we'll put it on. Hopefully that's going to fix the problem. It's pretty dangerous to have that happen in the back of the car that you wouldn't know what's going on. Well, I ended up buying a fuel pump for the XJS. If you go and buy a genuine one or a Bosch one, for example, it's going to cost you somewhere between $170 to $250, which is absolute ludicrous money when pretty much they're just a generic fuel pump. This one is specific for the car, but it's also specific for 1,000 other cars. It's a high pressure pump, and it's got a lifetime warranty for $50. So you'd be mad if you didn't just go for something like this anyway. So we're going to install that and clean up all that back section. Okay, whoever did this bodge install, the intake of that fuel pump there, that's about 13 mil, and it's supposed to be only a 10 mil intake, or I think it's roughly 10. It looks like about 10. So this piece of fuel line they put there is too large. They've used a larger piece and they've clamped it down tight on the reservoir bit because it would have been nice and loose. And I've had to tighten it down there too, so it's wrong, but I don't have a piece of fuel line at the moment to suffice. So I'm going to use the old bit, but I still have to replace it because it's just too large. But it's holding pretty tight. Well, it was even more bodgy. I just took off the electrical tape and they wound up these existing old spade type clamps undercover and just left them sitting there. I don't know why they did it that way. So we'll do a little bit of sorting there. Okay, we'll tidy these wires up. I don't know what, there's two sets of wires going into this pump. But we're going to keep it as two sets of wires going into this pump. Come on. Come on. Join them together nice and tightly. Come on, get together. You can do it. Okay, terminals are all on nice and tightly. It took a bit of tidying up, but now we have two nice clean terminals with our new rubber boots for the fuel pump. There was a really bodgy connection there. And our mounting rubbers fit nicely over this one because they were just flopping around on this stupid thing. So we can get that back in its bracket and get those terminals on and get that other connection hooked up. Okie dokie, well she's all connected and ready to go. Before we put the brackety thing on it and clip it up, we'll just turn it on and make sure there's no leaks. Okay, I heard the fuel pump run for a couple of seconds. Oh, it's noisy. Anyway, it only runs for 2 seconds, it's on. Still running. Why would it do that? Why would it be making that funny noise? And why is it still running? It's only meant to run for 2 seconds. Maybe she had shush. Maybe there was air in the line and now there's pressure's built up. But it was noisy. A new pump, that's a bit weird. But let's get it back together and we'll start this car up. Okay, well that's looking a lot tidier. It's nice secure in its bracket and its mounting rubbers are all tight, nice. But I've got to replace this hose. See, it's got a pretty bad kink in it. It's the wrong size hose anyway. It's too big. So I'm hoping enough fuel's going to flow through that just for the time being so I can get this thing out of the garage. But I'll have to head up to the parts store and buy a bit of fuel. It means I'm going to get fuel everywhere again when I pull it off. But it has to be done. It's still a little bit noisy, but I'm putting it down to that wrong fuel line because it's got a kink in it and it's not flowing properly. So I'll zap up to the hardware store and get some new fuel line for it. Well, if anyone knows what this fuel pump might have been out of originally, pop a comment down below. But it's seen its last day. Before we finish up, I've still got my back seat out and we've got this really ugly crack on the top of the backrest. And it must be because it's a little bit hard. It doesn't feel all that hard. But let's try some of this stuff I bought in Orange. It's a locally made Howard leather conditioner. I like trying new products. So we're going to give it a good little rub in there. Rub it all around here. Get it on your fingers because it's always good for your hands. This stuff. It's got lanolin and all sorts of groovy stuff in it. Soak it all up. And we'll leave that for a couple of days till we're ready to put the seats back in and just see if it makes it that little bit softer. Hopefully it will. Oh, good. Therapeutic doing this stuff. I'll do the whole seat in a little bit. That fuel pump is down to a whisper now. I'm putting it down to, it was probably still running dry a little bit while it was sucking new fuel up, and it had air in the system, so it's down to, it's great, it's working perfectly. So I'm really happy with that. Next job, I've been trying to get to these carpets. We'll get to them eventually. I just need a good half day, which I just haven't been able to manage lately, but we'll get there. So thanks guys for watching. Only a little short one while I fix my fuel pump, and don't forget thumbs up please, it really helps my algorithms. And if you're new to the channel, just press that handsome bloke down there and you can follow some of his other silly videos. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.